Welcome back to Decoding the Flow. This is episode 31 of the podcast where we talk about creative consciousness, art, healing. And today I'm really excited because we're going to talk about what 100 days of discipline creation does to your identity and why most people never gets there. Let's get started. If you have been following my journey since January 15, you know, or maybe you don't know, but since then, I've been creating one art piece every single day for the past 100 days. And I just finished this, what I call art practice. And I'm going to talk about it, identity, discipline, and why a lot of people affirm even to themselves why they cannot get ahead of themselves. And that is something that is so true to me. And I can say that I've been there. I know it. It's such a resistance that we feel within our body. It seems like nothing is moving because you start procrastinating and then your anxiety goes to the roof because you start thinking that you're supposed to start doing something and then you never do it and then you never make movements and then you never really flow. Most people think that discipline is forcing something that you don't even want to do it. But after 100 days of creating every single day, I don't see it like this anymore. And there is a song that it got stuck on my head. I grew up listening to the song and I could never understand. The song is in Portuguese and there's a line that says, "É liberdade." I used to love this song. And what it means is discipline is freedom. You may have heard this term, that a lot of other people who use this term, but I could never grasp it. Discipline is freedom. How is that even possible? Because we have that bad connotation that the discipline is something that will make your life not excited anymore. At least that's what I thought. But I was completely wrong until I actually start adapting and understanding that discipline, it does create freedom after all. And most importantly, and I don't see many people talking about it because discipline is in control. Discipline is devotion. And when I understand and when I shift in my mind of thinking that discipline is something that you achieve instead of discipline being devotion, everything changed. That's what I want to share with you. So you can change your life too, because it really changed my life. And when I talk about devotion, it's not even devotion of the thing that you do for every day, but it's a devotion to your creativity, devotion to your, and most importantly, devotion for the person that you are becoming. And here's the truth. Most people, they don't struggle with creativity. They struggle with devotion. So in this episode, I wanted to share what 100 days of showing up every day actually did it to me, not just as an artist, but as a person, and how you can start building that same level of self-trust within yourself. I started this 100 days of art practice with a simple idea. I wanted to loosen up. I want to stop overthinking and reconnect with my creative exploration. That was a simple idea. I had no idea how I would do it. I didn't really think too much. I just thought, hey, why not? And to be honest, what I did not expect, it is how much 100 days would confront me. You heard it right, confront me. Because you have to face yourself so much, but that's the beauty of it. Maybe you're thinking like I did that once you commit to something that's going to get easier, and that's not true. Some days, yes, I felt effortlessly. I did not even think about it, but most days didn't. There were days that I did not feel inspired. There were days that I had no idea what I was doing. There were days that I honestly look at myself in the mirror and thought of myself, what are you doing? There were days that I literally did not want to show up. And that's exactly where most people quit. Not you, not me, not you. With all the strategies that we're going to talk about it, you're going to flow and you're going to create every day. You're going to do whatever that you need to do to achieve your dreams, because that's what it's all this is about, achieving your best version. And you know why most people stop? Because they are still negotiating with themselves. And that's the beauty of all. Once you commit and once you have the discipline to show it up, even the days that you don't want to, that's going to happen. That is an absolutely certainty that is going to happen. But you just have to follow through with your own commitment. And the only way that you're going to do that is by not negotiating with yourself. This is what commitment is, at least for me. That's exactly what I experienced. Like the first week, I was all excited about it. But then on the second and third week, it was so hard for me to show up, but I did not negotiate it. The same happened to me when I need to go to the gym, for example. I don't negotiate. I simply don't negotiate. And I don't have the mental chatter within me. Should I go? Should I stay? And that's also one of the reasons I eat the same food almost like every day. I don't negotiate. So the mental chatter that we usually have all day, every day, it get quiet. And then you have a lot more energy to actually do the things that you wanted to do. What I also noticed at the beginning, you see discipline as something external. It feels something that you have to achieve. So you're pushing yourself. You're reminding yourself that you gotta do the thing that you committed yourself to do it. Almost like you are forcing consistency. But if you stay long enough, you will start feeling something shifting, something change from the inside out. You stop feeling the effort. You stop feeling the indecision. You stop questioning your entire life. You start feeling like devotion, not obligation, not pressure, devotion. Like showing up is not something that you have to do. It's something that you get to do because it is aligned to the person that you want to become. See the difference? When you have to do something, your body instantly reacts. But when you get to do something, you are in control. You decide, you respond to actually do the things that you want to do. See the difference? That simple shift of mindset from have to get to will definitely move you from reaction mode to response. So you see, the discipline gets you started. Devotion keeps you going, but identity makes it easy. Sorry to interrupt your podcast, but I just want to let you know that this is the last few days that you can get a copy of the first edition of my book, Decoding the Flow. I wrote this book back in 2020, and I have to tell you that this book not only changed my entire life, but it changed the lives of so many creatives and artists. You can read the reviews on Amazon, but this book, we decided we are going to discontinue selling this book only because I am in the middle of writing the second edition. But the reason I want you to get a copy of this book, because this is the basic needs of living a creative life that is aligned with your soul. This is the beginning of everything. We only have 10 copies of this book, and I'm going to leave the link underneath for you to get direct from my publisher. So it's going to be shipped to you from Culver City, Los Angeles, California. So don't get from Amazon. So get the last 10 copies from my publisher, and I can't wait for you to get your copy. Okay, back to the episode. Well, I'm going to share with you now what I noticed doing my 100 days as my own experience the 3 phases of the 100 days. Phase 1 is resistance. So the very first 30 days, you will face resistance. Even if you want to, and if you're so motivated to get started, resistance will show up. And it's your commitment to your future self that's going to make you keep going. Phase 2 is rhythm. That's when you start finding the flow. And the phase 3 is the danger zone. Let's go one by one so you can understand what I'm talking about. The phase number 1, resistance. We're excited, but mental, you're still inconsistent. You also is still attached to outcomes. Doing phase number 1 is day 1 to day 30. It's a resistance because you also overthinking a little bit. Phase 2 is the effortless part that we talked about it, is the rhythm. This happened to me during day 30 to day 70. You start finding your flow. It becomes part of your routine. That's when you don't even think about it. Then you completely stop negotiating and you also start finding yourself, you start adjusting your entire rest of your day for that specific practice. And once this start happening, that's when self-trust comes online. And that's, my friends, it's one of the most important things that you need to do and that you will achieve no matter if you spend 5 minutes in your 100 days or if you spend 15 minutes like I did. I gave myself 15 minutes to 30 minutes every day to paint, to create a mini painting, because I wanted to make as easy as possible to me. If you've been thinking about it, committing 100 days to write a book or to finish the project or go back to creativity, don't give yourself 2 hours because that is too much. Give yourself anything between 10 minutes to 30 minutes. You want to make so easy for you and for your brain. And another fun fact that I just learned about neuroscience, your dopamine don't get released on the first 10 minutes of your activity. You start releasing dopamine in your brain after 10 minutes of the same activity. That's really good to know. It's number 3. I don't hear many people talk about it, but I like to call it the danger zone. You can either deepen your presence or it can become autopilot. We don't want it to become an autopilot either. You want it to be present, right? That's what I found in myself, because towards the end, in this 70 days to 100 days, I had to make a decision. Am I finishing this just because I say I did? So you just do it whatever because it's comfortable? Or are you still pushing yourself with the intention, the same intention that you put before you even started? The intention of loosen up, of grow as an artist, of become more disciplined, of having that identity of somebody that will create every day just because I decided to. If you want to build this kind of discipline or devotion in your life, here's what actually works. Don't wait to feel inspired. You just decided that you are. It's very interesting. Something that I also noticed, I talk a little bit last year about that. Once you know that you have to create something every day, your brain go to finding inspiration mode. And there's a name for it. It is our filter of the brain called the reticular activating system that literally will filter your brain to focus on the thing that you want to focus on. Have you heard of the people who wants to buy a red car, and once they talk about it and once they say out loud, all they can see is that red car that they want to buy? Yeah, because that's how our brain works. So we need to use to our advantage. So there are 4 rules that I came up with based on my own experience that you can start applying to your practice right away. Rule number 1, remove emotion from your decision. Same if you want to get fit. You have to remove emotion. Have you heard of people like the most successful people? They don't work when they feel like it. They work because they are committed to the rule number one, and that you can apply in your entire life. Remove emotion from your decision. Well, maybe not entire life. Maybe in your love life, you can eschew add that emotion. I don't know. Rule number two, lower the bar. I was saying earlier, you don't want to commit to a 2 hours practice. Start slow. Start with a 10 minutes. 10 minutes commitment. That's all you need. And also, you have to understand that some days we'll have a lot of energy to move forward. Some days you definitely not going to have energy. But remember, you are a person who showed up every single day. So the goal here, it's not perfection. The goal here is continuity. The act of making it every single day that is going to bring you that perfection that maybe you're looking for. But we're not looking for perfection. Don't look for perfection. That is something that don't exhaust yourself looking for perfection. Oh, such a thing as perfection. Nature is perfect. But rule number three, that's important. Write it down if you can't. Build identity through proof. This is so, so important. There's a really good book that you probably heard it before. It's from James Clear. He talks about on atomic habits. I don't have the book with me, but I have the audiobook. And there's a line that defines exactly what I'm talking about. Every time you showed up, you cast a vote for the person that you are becoming. Let me repeat. Every time you showed up, you cast a vote for the person that you are becoming. And I say that all the time on this podcast. Every act is an act of self definition. Write that down because this is important. This is the identity part that we are talking about. And if you really need help, get James Clear book, Atomic Habits. It's a really dense book. So be prepared and give yourself 6 months to finish because it's a lot. It's packed with information. Rule number 4, respect your body. Your energy, your focus, your discipline, everything lives inside your body. So take care of your body. When your body feels off, your creativity will feel off as well. And that is a trick that I use going to the gym. I always repeat that to myself, and it works because that's exactly what I believe. I rewire my brain to show up at the gym every day because every time that I get stronger, my creativity gets stronger too. That is simply what I believe. I don't care if you believe it or not, but that is a really good belief that you could also implement in case you have a difficult or a hard time taking care of your body. It's within your body that you bring that life energy and the life force for you to build all of the things that we are talking about. Discipline, focus, they all come from within in your body. So please do take care of your body. It's like a practical framework. Rule number 1, remove emotion from your decision. Rule number 2, lower the bar. Remember, the goal is not perfection. The goal is continuity. Rule number 3, build identity through proof. That's actually the only way that you can build your identity. It's through proof. You have to remind every day your brain, see, I told you. Yes, you see, I told you. So every time that you showed up, you were proving to yourself that you are showing up no matter what. So guess what? Your confidence and your trust in yourself will literally skyrocket. You will become unstoppable. Trust me. I got excited about the identity through proof because we talk about shifting identities all the time, but until you give proof to yourself, you won't feel like you shift to your identity. You're not even going to shift your identity if you don't give proof to yourself. And the last one, respect the body. There's a reason this really works. And I went down because I love neuroscience and neuroplasticity. They're just like different studies. And when you bring science with any subject that you are achieving, everything kind of easier. Research on neuroplasticity shows that repetition literally rewires your brain. There's a very famous TED talk from this psychologist. Her name is Angela Duckworth, and she talks about grit. Grit, remember, grit, it is not talent, but it is the real driver to long term success. I think people mistake grit with hustle. And I don't think it's nobody faults because we live in a hustle culture. But I heard so many times people come to me and talk about how they admire my hustle. And I don't see it that way at all. I see it as grit. I see it somebody doing whatever they need to do to become the person that achieves everything. So grit is very important. So check within you. What is the level of your grit? How much are you willing to take or to give up or to leave behind parts of yourself that are not supporting your future self? This is important. And I'm going to leave the link from this TED Talk because she talks about it great so perfectly. So maybe can help you too. So I really recommend that you watch that. This wasn't my first art challenge. I have done 60 days twice before and to commit to more days because simply to give myself permission to do more. I just wanted to see how far I could go. So I decided to do 100 days and something simple and powerful that shifts within me. I trust myself more. Yeah, I build trust on the level of 60 days twice before. And because I decided to do more days and I followed through, and after that 60 days, that's when the real stretch happened. So every time that you showed up and you keep showing up, and the harder days are the one that strengthen that trust in yourself even more. That kind of trust in yourself, it literally changes everything. You know, you can feel the energy of somebody who trusts themselves or who don't trust themselves. It is a magnetic, the most magnetic energy when you talk to somebody and they trust themselves, they trust their words, they trust everything they're doing because they're confident. So that is the level of self-trust that you can build within yourself by adding this practice 100 days. You can start it tomorrow. You are one decision away. I promise. I want you to leave a comment below with your biggest takeaway. And I also want you to listen this again because maybe you're driving, maybe you're at the gym, and then there's a lot of information that I add into this episode. And I hope you love it so much. I am so passionate about everything that I talk about it here today, about discipline, about identity, about becoming the best version of yourself, about creating the life of your dreams. If this resonate with you, I just wanted you to know that you're not lacking creativity. You're maybe lacking structure. And that's what I built without even knowing. I built a structure within the 100 days because it was the natural process. Once you do something for 100 days, you start building your own system. And it worked because I believe it's one of the best works that I've created. And if you need help to follow through with a project or to go back to creativity or to writing, anything that you may be struggling right now, just know that you can get there. All you need is a little bit of structure. And that's why I create my 12 days of creative flow. I've been working behind the scenes of my 12 days of creative flow, where I incorporated daily prompts, a daily exercises, not only for you to go back to creativity, but to go back to yourself because there's something that we don't talk about. But when you go back into the play state, into the creation of something that you have to use your hands, you also go back to your childlike identity. So go back to your authenticity. It's something that art can do for you. So my 12 days of creative flow, I'm open, not the doors right now, but the wait list that you can sign up right now. I'm going to be released this brand new course. It's probably my very first course that I created, and I incorporated all of the exercise that I used in myself, not only during this 100 days, but the back in the days when I felt so blocked, where I used to procrastinate hours and hours and hours of my life. So I did put my heart and soul into this 12 days. It is just 12 days, but it's so powerful, and I cannot wait to see you there. Again, I'm open up the waiting list so you can sign up to be on the waiting list, because I'm going to be releasing, and everyone who is on the waiting list is going to get a special prize and some other specials that I can't wait to share with you. All right, my friend, thank you so much for being here and for listening to the Code in the Flow, that podcast where we talk about creative consciousness and how to live your best life. I can't wait to hear from you. And until next time, bye.